We are back out here at our 24 unit project, and when we first walked it, right, you guys got to see what the layout was. We had dug out all of the footing trenches. This one we had actually dug out the footings and we had string lines run in, and now you can actually see the footings have been poured. Our stem walls right here have also been poured. If you remember that last video, we had pink string lines, right? And now the actual stem walls have been poured. So those pink string lines represented this building corner. You can now actually see it as it's been poured and coming to life. So after we poured the foundation and we got everything ready to go, now we've got our plumbers who are just phenomenal plumbers. We have them coming in to do the under slab plumbing. This application is actually in slab on grade. A lot of our commercial stuff is slab on grade, which means that we'll come in, we'll do the stem walls, then we'll actually come in, we'll backfill. All of it's compacted and looked at by a geotech, and the slab on grade just means that we'll grade all this up and we'll actually pour a concrete slab flush with the top of this stem wall to finish everything out, right? Unlike in some of our other builds, you'll see us actually run floor joists. We're not going to have that situation. So if you're looking at what's actually happening here, these amazing plumbers, they've run all the underfloor plumbing, and the black pipe that you see, right? You see like a 4-inch trunk line coming in, and then you see different side lines coming all around. That's all ABS piping, and that's all for our dirty water, right? That's all the drainage that's going to happen, and it's all planned around where the future plumbing will hit. So you'll see a laundry room over there, right? You'll see a future bathroom over here. You've got kitchen over there, right? So everything's laid out and pulled out for where the future plumbing fixtures are going to be. Black pipe is the ABS, and then what you see there, it's either 1.5 or 1.1. That white pipe, that's called PEX pipe, and that's where our actual main water supply is going to come in. So we'll have dirty water that all runs at a slope out, right? So this is all planned out. It has to be 1/4 inch per foot from a slope perspective, and then we'll have the white pipe, the PEX pipe. That's how our water actually comes in. All of this, if you look at the bays, it goes bay by bay, right? So in the future, we're gonna have, this is a 3-story building. So this water supply is gonna hit each story, the first story, the second story, the third story. And then you go to the next bay and it's the same thing. So we have 4 actual laterals that are coming out, and that'll then in the future be put into these mains that you'll see. They'll all come through, they'll be put into the mains. A couple other details to look at from a slab on grade perspective. If you look just over there, you can see that there's 2 sheets of 15R rigid foam. We run rigid foam before we pour the slab. We run rigid foam both horizontally. If you look right here, it goes vertically from the footing up to the stem wall, and then we also run it horizontally 2 feet in, and that's just for any transfer of heat, right? So any transfer of cold air out here into our actual slab. We're just trying to protect the slab. We're trying to protect any heat transfer that would create any moisture issues, and so we do a really nice perimeter insulation detail to protect against that. That all happens before we actually pour this slab. One other thing to look at before we pour this slab, this big, huge bad boy right here, this is for our sprinklers, right? All the commercial builds, they get a sprinkler system. So every single unit's sprinklered from a commercial perspective. This bad boy right here, this is actually what our entire dedicated fire line is gonna be tied into. So we'll build a riser room in here. You'll get a manifold that'll control the specific water flow for the sprinkler system. So that's what you see right here. Pretty big system, and one of the biggest differences between doing a residential build into a commercial build. All right, so that's just a quick little overview of what these projects look like before they actually go vertical, right? You now get to see what it looks like to put the foundation in, what it looks like to put the under slab plumbing in, right? Over the weekend, we'll come in, we'll put an actual vapor barrier. Once these systems are on test, they've been inspected, right, and approved, we actually put them on test with water or air to make sure there's no leakage, because once we pour this plumbing has to be bomber, right? Because once we pour a slab over it, there can be no issues, right? It becomes much more challenging to chip into your concrete. So we make sure that these are obviously tested both on our side, but also the municipalities come out and they inspect these systems. And then we'll also have our actual geotech come out. He'll make sure, because we're pouring a slab on here, he'll make sure that all the backfill that we do in here is compacted properly and taken care of the way it needs to. Then we'll put a vapor barrier down, and next week you'll watch us pour these actual slabs. From there, we'll snap lines and we'll actually start going vertical. If you guys are interested in watching how we bring this project to life, subscribe to our channel. We'll be pushing out a lot more content. We'll be showing you step by step how we bring these to life, and we'd love to have you along for the ride.